Hello everyone and welcome to Azam Shah Weekly. And in this video, you're going to learn that how you can perform autocomplete operation when you are searching for a particular point of interest. This means you're going to start writing burgers and it's going to show you all the different burger shops near your current location. So let's go ahead and get started. Well, the first thing we need to do is we need to allow the user to type in something, all right? And once they are typing in that thing, we should be able to search it. So I'm going to use searchable, and this should be perfectly fine, just using the search. So I'm just going to pass in the search, and let's go ahead and create the search state. This is going to at least allow us to see a search bar somewhere on the top. All right. Now, one other thing that we'll have to make sure is that we are using a navigation view just to make it look nice, and so the search bar can actually appear somewhere on the top. All right. So if I run it right now, you'll be able to see it's not displaying. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this with a navigation view. There we go. I'm going to wrap it with navigation view. And now you can see the search bar being appearing. That is great. I can also go ahead and write some sort of a text or something. I can call it places or whatever you want to call it to give some sort of a title on the top. Okay, great. So over here we are searching for something. Every time we press a key, whatever we type over here in the search text box, it's going to get populated right there. Now, this is fine, but we have a long way to go because we still have to find out user's current location. So we don't even know where the user is. For this, I'm going to go ahead and create a brand new file. I'm going to call it Location Manager. And the job of the Location Manager would be to find user's current location. So let's go ahead and import core location. We're going to go ahead and use the Location Manager. And one of the things that we're going to do inside Location Manager, we're going to also make sure that Location Manager is an observable object. We'll have some properties that we want to publish. And one of those properties will be location, which is CL location. And the other property that we want to give the user access to is the region. So this is the MK coordinate region, and basically this is the region near your current location. And I'm going to go ahead and import MapKit. Now, if you want, you can give some sort of a default region to this. That's perfectly fine, or you can keep it empty. I usually give it some sort of a default region. So in order to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and create a new file. MK coordinate region plus extensions, and I'm just going to provide some sort of a latitude and longitude, some default latitude and longitudes that we can use as a default region. Now I can go ahead and say MK coordinate region dot default region, so we will have some sort of a default region available. Next step, if we want to get the actual location, we will have to make use of the CL Location Manager. And currently we have not used that. So let's go ahead and say private let Location Manager. Now this is the actual Location Manager. It's a CL Location Manager that is going to access, or that is going to allow us to access the current location. We're also going to go over here and make sure that we can override the init. And we'll call super.init. Now, why am I overwriting init? Well, I'm going to go ahead and also conform or use the NS object. And the reason I'm using NS object is that eventually we will have to conform and become a delegate of the location manager. So that's why this is needed. Now, a couple of different things we need. We need to set the distance accuracy and distance filter. You can see the distance accuracy is best. This means that go ahead and take some time to find our location. and distance filter means we are not really filtering it by any distance. Now we need to, since this is an iOS application, we will need to request for permission. So I'm just going to say request always for authorization. And now I can go ahead and say location manager dot start updating location. When the location will be found, the location manager delegate will be fired. So I'm going to set the delegate to self, where self is location manager that we created. Currently, you can see that our location manager is not conforming to the CL location manager delegate. And if it's not conforming to the CL location manager delegate, all those delegate functions, when they fire, we're not going to get notified. So I'm going to go ahead and create an extension. You don't really need to create an extension, but extensions do make your code organize a little bit more better. And now we're conforming to the CL location manager delegate. Now this delegate, the CL location manager delegate, comes with many different functions. One of them that we're interested is did update locations, which is fired whenever the location manager finds or updates a location. What we're going to do is we're simply going to go ahead and get the actual location. Either you get the first location or the last location, it doesn't really matter. There we go. And now we can assign it to our location. So location property equals to location. And we can also assign it to the region. So region equals to MK coordinate region. Well, in this case, I guess it's not going to be MK coordinate region. We are going to go ahead and create a region. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Now both of these properties, the location property and the region property, are declared right here, and they are marked with published. So whenever something is marked with published, we need to make sure that we are doing that on the main queue. So I'm going to say dispatch queue.main.async and simply go ahead and wrap this inside over here. And just going to make sure that this particular self actually does exist. And there we go. So we're just going to go ahead and wrap it with weak self. All right. So this is going to allow us to get the location. Now, since this is an iOS app, in order to get the location, we must add some keys to our info.plist file. So I'm going to go to my application, click on info, and right over here somewhere, we can just go ahead and add a plus sign and add a new key, which is ns location always, and when it's used description, and some sort of a description. So this app requires your location to work. Be descriptive. Obviously, this is a very generic kind of a message. So make sure that you're writing a very descriptive, nice message. Okay, so now we can go back to our actual content view, and we can go ahead and see that how we can get the location. So I'm going to go over here, create state object, var, or private var is fine, private var, location manager, and we can create an instance of the location manager. As soon as we create an instance of the location manager, all of this code is going to get fired, which means it should request for authorization. All right. So let's go ahead and run this and see if that particular authorization modal or alert comes into play or not. Okay, we're going to launch it. And we're going to wait for this to appear. I don't think we have anything on the content view. So here we go. So it is appearing like this. It hasn't really asked us anything regarding the location. So maybe we need another key. So what we will do is go back to our code over here. And let's see, where is our key that we just added? So here is a key, I think, that we just added. I'm going to go ahead and add another key, which is ns location when in use description. And I'm going to say this app requires your location to work. Let's go ahead and run it again. There we go. This is nice. This is basically saying that, hey, can I have permission to access your location? I'm going to say allow once, allow when I'm using the app, or don't allow. So you have three different options. I'm just going to go ahead and say allow once, and now hopefully it will have my location. All right. Now this is great. I think everything is working nice over here. The next thing that we want to do is, once it has our location, I think the next step would be to allow us to search for something, right? So currently we are not really searching for anything. So if I go over here, we can type in the name of the place, but what we really want to do is we want to search a particular thing. So I'm going to go ahead and say over here on change, and when the search state changes, probably it has a new value, we will grab the search text. So whatever the text that you entered, we are going to grab that. All right? And then probably we can perform a search. Now, who will be responsible for performing that kind of a search? We will create a search results view model, and that will perform the search. So I'm just going to go ahead over here and probably create a new class. We will call it search results view model. So this is our view model that is going to be performing the actual search. Class search results view model, which will be an observable object. And it only has one simple function, which is basically search. And in that, you're going to pass in the text that you are searching. So you can be searching for burgers and the region in which you are searching. So this can be your location. Now, in order to search in iOS, there is already something, and in macOS also, there's something called mklocal search. So we can create a request for mklocal search. And the way that you search is you simply assign the natural query language property with the text that you're searching. Now, since we want to search for some stuff that is near our current location, we are going to assign the region. Once we have done that, we will create a search, which is mklocal search object, which takes in the request. And next, and finally, we can go ahead and use the search. Search.start. It's going to give us a response, or it's going to give us an error. If the response is good, then we can go ahead and probably unwrap it. So that will be great. And after unwrapping it, what we really want to do is we want to populate some sort of a view model that can be displayed on the screen. But currently we don't really have any view model. So I think it will be a good idea to probably create some sort of a view model. Now, it will be a good idea to create a view model in a different file. That is perfectly fine. I'm just going to save some space and just add the view model right over here. That view model, we will call it place view model. And that, since it will eventually be displayed on the screen, I will simply make it identifiable. Now, this particular view model, which is place view model, is going to get the information from the map item, which we are going to get somewhere from here. So in order to create a place view model, we're going to pass in the mk map item. And once we have the map item, one of those map items, well, all of those map items will have a properties that can allow us to get the name of that particular location, title of that location, and other stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and create a name property, which will be string, and I'm going to return mapitem.name. So this will be the name of that particular location. Now, if we go back to our search results view model, we can go ahead and create an instance of an array of places, and we can use our response to iterate through the map items and create places, which is place view model array. So I can say response.mapItems.map, and that can be place view model.init. We want to make sure that this particular places or publish property is set on the main thread. So we're going to decorate it with the main actor. So we don't really have to use dispatch and all that stuff. Okay, so what other things do we actually need? We need the name, so that is great. We can have the city and all that stuff. If you want, you can do the city also. That is fine too. All right, let me go ahead and build it. All right. Let's first go ahead and run this and see that if we are able to get the items or places or not. So first I'm going to go back to the content view. And when I'm in the content view, I want to go ahead and display all those different things, meaning all the different things that you are basically fetching. So I'm going to go ahead and create a view model, perform the search, view model.search, passing in the text, which in this case I guess will be search text, and the region, which will be location manager dot region. And finally, when it performs the search, it is going to change this particular property, the places property. Since the property is marked with published, it is going to generate that kind of a event, and we can handle it somewhere over here. Now you can create a search result list control. That is perfectly fine, but I'm going to try to do it simply over here. So list of places, well, there's no places, I guess, so vm.places. We will get access to a place. And for now, we're going to go ahead and see that if we can simply go ahead and display the name of the place. If we can display the name of the place, that always will be a great start. Let's go ahead and run this. Allow once. Now, let me go ahead and say burgers. And there we go. You can see all the different stores that contain burgers near my current location. Now, if I go ahead and say coffee, then you can see all the different coffee stores. All right. So that is pretty cool that we are able to do all of those different things. Pretty cool, right? Now, if I remove all of them, you can see that it still shows me some sort of, items. That is something that we'll have to figure out how to solve this. One of the things that we can do is we can check for search text. If the search text dot empty, well, if it's not empty, then we will perform this kind of a request. Else, if it is empty, then vm.places, we can simply assign it kind of like empty array. All right. If it has any problems, then we'll have to check it out. But let's go and search for coffee. Okay. And if I remove all of that stuff, it kind of gives me the suggestion for some reason, which is like empty. Now, if I go ahead and say chicken, well, I guess all of these different store comes up, which are chicken stores or sells chicken, right? And you can see that sometime when I type in, it doesn't really clear it out. All right, so we'll have to figure out how to clear out those things. So yeah, so even if I type in coffee, and if I remove coffee or delete coffee one letter at a time, then it kind of works okay. But if I type whatever, burgers, and I remove it really quickly, then you can see that it, for some reason, shows me all of this result with some errors being thrown in the console. So I'm not really sure what that is. It should only be searching when the search text is not empty. And if it is empty, then it should simply go ahead and let the places to be something else. All right. So that is one of the things that we'll have to figure out, that what exactly is going on. I think searchable also contains is searching or things like that. I'm not sure if it's available over here, but not. But you can probably do those things also. But if you find a easier solution, let me know. But anyways, we were at least able to build this application quickly. You can see that if I go ahead and search for chicken, you can see that all the different chicken stores are coming into play. I can go ahead and remove that, and I can go ahead and search for coffee, and all the different coffee stores are coming. Now, if I go ahead and remove that, I can go search for park, and all the parks are coming in, and so on. All right. So that hopefully will help you out. And if you find a solution for why it is not removing, if I quickly remove it, it shows me all of this stuff, then let me know, and I will probably add it in the comments or something. Thank you so much. Hope you have enjoyed this video.